I don't think I'm being offensive when I say that One Piece has some goated villains, but it also had some duds. So today we're going to rank them from S tier to F tier based on how effective they were. And just as a reminder that this list is 100% not subjective and is backed by scientific research I did myself. With that said, let's start off with the first villain, Buggy. If I'm being honest, he fails as a villain and Oda knows this. When we first met Buggy, he was destroying entire towns and having people shaking in their boots. Now he just acts as a comic relief and nothing else. That's why he's always having meetings with Crocodile and Mihawk in the back, if you know what I mean. But can we talk about when Buggy was first introduced, because this man was a menace. He literally killed a man because he thought he called him a clown. Now he's just depressed. D tier. Arlong. Definitely one of the better written villains in early One Piece. In a saga filled with poo stains and basically BBL Drizzy, Arlong was the only villain that actually stood on business. This man was casually flipping houses like it's nothing. But what I find so funny about Arlong is that bro was just racist. Dude was really on his hater arc the way he discriminated against humans. Like, I hate gingers, but I wouldn't keep one as a slave. That's just crazy. But I'm low-key a hater too. I can see me and Arlong just vibing to the new Kendrick song. I have to put him in B tier. Crocodile. Say what you want about the man, but I gotta respect the grind. You can't tell me you watched this scene without getting the chills. Bro's making money moves. I mean, he did try to nuke an entire city, but he's also a trans ally, so that has to count for something. Real quick though, can we talk about how absurd his plan was, because oh my god, bro legit waited 10 years to start a civil war just so he could kill one person. That is pettiness at its finest. But what makes Crocodile such a goated villain was the hype. Like when we first hear about him, he's a warlord, which puts him at the same rank as Mihawk, and when we do meet him, he cooks Luffy twice. I don't know about you, but he's A tier at the bare minimum. Enel. Okay, I have to be honest with y'all. I have some bias towards Enel. People tend to underestimate him since he's the villain of a mid-arc, but dude was just too funny. Disregarding his plan, bro's character design is just goofy as hell. His earlobes reach his chest, I can't. But seriously, Enel is a mid-villain. Other than his double fruit, there isn't much to his character. Bro is just a D1 hater for no reason. Like, I'm a hater too, but I can't vibe with someone who almost committed genocide. I will give him points for being entertaining to watch though. C tier. Foxy. I'm going to keep this short because you can probably guess where I'm going to place him. But can I just say that this Oompa Loompa walnut, 5'4", nose looks like a bowling pin, can't even use his double fruit, his haircut looks like my butt crack. Yet he still pulls. He even pulls more than me. How is that possible? It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, bro's F tier. I don't need to go in depth. You can just look at his face. Rob Lucci. Bro was a straight menace to society. Like, can we talk about how he pulled up to a country in order to stop a war and just murk the people he was supposed to save? Bro is a dopey tier villain the way he just stacked the bodies on top of each other like it was nothing. I feel like people tend to forget how threatening of a villain Rob Lucci actually was. You can't sit there and tell me you didn't gasp when it was revealed that Lucci actually worked for the government. And then Raw Dog's Luffy. Bro had to gain 2 new forms in order to defeat one person. And you'll sleep on this man acting like he's dog water. You can hate me for this, but I'm putting Lucci at S tier. That twist was honestly top 5 One Piece moments for me. Gecko Moria, barely even a villain. Actually scratch that, bro's barely even a character. Oda really hyped this man up to be larger than life just to turn around and give us a bobble pin. And I understand that's the point of Gecko Moria. He's supposed to be washed. But at the same time, Kuma Kiri fell apart. Foxy was a better villain in my opinion. I hope Moria dies in prison. F tier. Akainu. Now this is where things get interesting because we still don't know much about him yet. Other than that, he's an actual psychopath. Killing pirates is one thing, but killing your own men is some demon level shit. Why does Oda have to write the most downright despicable characters to the point where it's actually funny? Like when Kobe decided to speak out against the war, Akainu's first instinct was straight blood. No hesitation. He's easily B tier. I would put him at A, but he turned my saucy egg boy into a donut. I can't let that slide. Porty Jones. I'm going to make this brief, but I find it crazy how his entire motivation was racism. At least with Arlong, he had a reason to be racist. Bro murdered the queen of Fishman Island, kidnapped the royal family, nearly killed like a couple thousand people just because. I have to admit that's crazy, but at the same time, I gotta respect the dedication. But what's even crazier is how he joined forces with an actual PDF file. Like, this guy was insane. Bro deadass was trying to marry a 16-year-old and this dude was okay with that. He's just F tier in this whole list. Caesar. I feel like as this list goes on, the crimes these characters have committed just gets crazier and crazier. We started off with murder and attempted genocide, which is typical for an anime villain, but now we're at child trafficking, which is wild. Like, this dude was genuinely supplying drugs to 4-year-olds and called it science. He was really out here turning these kids into demon crash outs over candy. There was nothing redeemable about this man. But to be honest, I'm kinda conflicted when it comes to Caesar because he's unironically the funniest One Piece villain. He was the biggest plug in the New World and was making money moves. I can't hate on that. But as a villain, he is actually trash. Explain to me how you have a devil fruit that could potentially solo the entire verse, and yet you're weaker than a clown. Make that make sense. D tier. Doflamingo. The one everybody has been waiting for. This is going to be a hot take, but I don't think Doflamingo is an S tier villain. Don't get me wrong, I can see why many people say that he's the best. Out of all the villains I've mentioned so far, he might have the craziest track record, but he's hot and like 12 feet tall, so it evens out. It feels like Doflamingo is treated more like a meme than an actual villain, not only by the fanbase, but by the creator himself. Bro is just so evil to the point where it's goofy. Like in one scene he'll be doing the most diabolical shit known to man, but then in the next scene he'll walk like a penguin. And don't even get me started on the fit. The pink coat actually goes hard, but the pants and the shoes. But what stopped Doflamingo from becoming an S tier villain was the arc he was in. Dressrosa was straight booty cheeks, and I mean that respectfully. The arc was just so long to where it felt like a chore just watching it. By the time Gear 4 was revealed, I lost all interest and just wanted to get it over with. Which means I didn't really get invested into Dofi as a character. But I do have to admit, Doflamingo is one of the better villains. Is he S tier? No. But he's definitely high A tier. Katakuri. Smash. I mean, I don't think it's a hot take to say that Luffy versus Katakuri is one of the best fights in One Piece. But can we talk about how crazy this bit is? It's not a phased mom in middle school type vibes. And what makes it even crazier is that it works. The Goth Rocky Horror Picture Show actually looks good. I need someone to unironically cosplay as this man. As a villain, it's impressive to me how much respect Katakuri garnered in a short amount of time. He wasn't introduced into the second half of the arc, yet stood on business. I genuinely can't talk shit. All bro did was protect his home turf. There's nothing dishonorable about that, like kidnapping children or turning people into slaves. Bro is just a G. Straight S tier. The jawline is crazy though. I'm sorry, I just had to say it. Big Mom. For how much she's built up as a menace, she is extremely underwhelming. If we're talking about Shaolin, completely different story. Girl was a menace at the age of 4, and let's not forget about the other incident. But if we're speaking on adult Big Mom, she's washed, which is kind of the point of her character. She's the exact same as Gecko Moria in that they both make excuses. The difference is that Big Mom actually gets shit done, so she's automatically better. Also, before I end this, I just want to say that 85 kids is insane. And usually I would respect it, you know, girl boss and all that. But she would dead ass kidnap men to have children with them and then treat them like trash afterwards. This woman was insane. But to be fair, I wouldn't mind being kidnapped by her. C tier. Kaido. I feel conflicted when it comes to Kaido because I don't have much to say about him. He's definitely a great villain, but I can't be the only one who felt like he was missing something. His entire character was built on the fact that he's this big menacing pirate that no one could stand up to. But that's the problem. It's his entire character. Unlike Doflamingo, who had a similar aura to Kaido, Doflamingo at least had more to his character than just killing people. Kaido is still an effective villain, just not a memorable one. And if for some reason Kaido is your favorite villain, I'm sorry, B tier. Blackbeard. We haven't really seen much from him, but every time this man is on screen, he's always getting hoed. Yet whenever he's off screen, he's a menace, constantly preying on others' downfalls, and little girls. Bro is moving like BBL Drizzy the way he likes them. But if we're being serious, Blackbeard is an entertaining villain. There is still a lot we don't know about him, so whenever he's on screen, all eyes are on him, which no other villain can really replicate other than Emu or the Gorosei. But Blackbeard is different since we've known about him since Skypiea. He had more foreshadowing than anyone on this list. He has more theories than anyone. So for that reason alone, I have to put him in S tier. And that's it. This is the final list. You can pause to look at it, but like I said in the beginning, this is all based on fact, so if you're mad, then you're just wrong. If you like my content, then go check out this video I made on the real villain of One Piece. Or you can watch this one where I explain why Gojo is the major problem for Jujutsu Kaisen. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.